They say the dead can't call you. But last night, my phone rang, and it was her. I hadn't touched her number since the accident. My sister's phone had been buried with her. Yet in the middle of the night, her name lit up my screen. Amina calling. My hands shook. I answered. Haris, why did you leave me there? Her voice was broken, filled with tears. My throat closed. I couldn't breathe. Amina? I whispered. Silence. Then a soft, ragged sob that wasn't meant for the living. She began to speak, fragments of pain. It was dark. It hurt. I was so cold. And you weren't there. The line crackled like dirt scraping against glass. My chest tightened. I wanted to hang up, but my hand wouldn't move. I whispered, "Where are you?" Her answer, "Look behind you." My blood froze. The air grew heavy, pressing against my chest. Slowly, I turned. The room was empty, but the smell of earth, wet soil and rust, filled the air. You let me die alone, so now you'll never be alone again. Her scream tore through the speaker, but in my room, it echoed too. The phone slipped from my hand. I felt it then, fingers cold and damp, brushing against my neck, a weight pressed onto my bed, her voice right beside my ear. Don't hang up. Stay with me. Forever. Now, every night, the phone rings. I always answer. I can't help it, because for the first time, I'm not scared of the silence anymore. I'm scared of what will happen if she stops calling.
I worked late shifts at a small-town radio station, midnight to dawn. Just me and the equipment and the forest pressing against the glass windows. The kind of silence that makes you hear things. That night began like any other. Music, weather updates, a lonely voice filling dead air. Around 2 a.m., the request line lit up. Nobody ever called that late. Can you hear me? The voice was faint, buried under static. I leaned closer to the mic. Yeah, I can hear you. Who is this? A laugh. Dry. Broken. I'm not supposed to be here, but I wanted someone to know. Know what? They're standing behind you. My stomach turned cold. The chair creaked as I spun around, but the studio was empty. When I looked back, the line was dead. 20 minutes later, the same number called. You didn't look long enough. I slammed the phone down. Suddenly the building felt wrong, like every corner was watching me. I cranked the lights up, but then the power flickered. For half a second, the broadcast died, and in that silence, I swear I heard breathing. Not mine, not through the headphones, in the room. I forced myself to keep going. Just a few more hours. Talk, play music, stay calm. But then, I noticed the request line light. It wasn't ringing. It was already connected. I lifted the receiver. No hello. Just the sound of my own broadcast. My voice, echoing back. But then, it changed. The voice began speaking words I hadn't said yet. finishing my sentences, seconds before I spoke them, like it was inside me, pulling the words out of my mouth before I knew them. I don't remember finishing the shift. The moment dawn came, I ran. I quit that morning. Never went back. But sometimes, when I'm lying awake at night, my phone lights up. Unknown number. No ringtone. Just waiting. I never answer. Last night, it left a voicemail. When I pressed play, it was my voice saying, "Can you hear me?" If any
I grew up in a village where winters felt endless, where silence pressed against the windows like a second layer of glass. My grandmother used to warn me of the pale guest, a figure that came not with sound, but with absence. I thought it was only a story, until the night I saw him. It was late, nearly 2 a.m. The power had gone out across the valley. I sat alone, reading by the faint glow of a battery lantern. The air felt heavy, as if the house itself was listening. Then I noticed the window. Frost had crawled across the glass in strange, spindly patterns. At first, I thought it was just the cold, but then I realized the frost looked deliberate, like veins, like fingers. I leaned closer. Outside, the snow swirled in pale moonlight, but something was there. A shape. Tall. Thin. Unmoving. And then it tilted its head. It was watching me. My lantern rattled as I stumbled back, but the thing didn't move, didn't vanish. It only stood and stared. The frost thickened, pressing inward, like cold breath against the glass. And suddenly I remembered her words. The pale guest never knocks. He waits until you open the door. I shut the curtains, but the silence deepened. The storm outside was gone. The world itself felt muted. That's when I heard it. Floorboards inside the house. Deliberate. Slow. Closer. Closer. Until the footsteps stopped. Just outside my bedroom door. The knob turned. I stayed frozen until dawn. When light finally crept through the curtains, I dared to look outside. The snow was untouched. No tracks. But the frost on the window was gone. In its place, etched into the glass, was the impression of a face. And then I realized it wasn't a reflection. It was behind me. No, please don't. The pale guest is here.
If any such thing has ever happened to you, And if you want that to be shared with the world through our channel, email us your story at cursedchain1@gmail.com.